Hi there, Facebook Live folks. It's Dave Lorenzo, and you are behind the scenes watching the recording of the 60-Second Sales Show. We record these shows on Wednesday for the following Monday, and you can't see her right now, but I also have with us our wonderful, talented producer, Nancy Pop. Say hi, Nancy.
Hi, everyone.
So Nancy is in her office in New York, and she produces the show. She recruits us guests, gets us great questions. She makes everything happen behind the scenes. And when we get started today, Nancy and I will have a bit of a conversation. We'll get into the meat of the show. And today's show is titled Forget Me Not. And the reason it's titled Forget Me Not, or How to Be Memorable, actually you're going to see on your screen, Facebookers, How to Be Memorable. The reason it's titled that is because 80% of your new business could come from the list of clients that you already have, the list of clients and prospects and evangelists that you already have. We're going to talk about how you can tap into that list for today's show. So, Nancy, why don't we, let me set my timer here that's right in my face. Why don't we get started? You can go ahead and count us down as soon as you're ready.
Awesome. Okay. Let's begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi there, everyone, and welcome to the 60-Second Sales Show. I'm your host, Dave Lorenzo, and today's episode is titled Forget Me Not, or How to Be Memorable. The reason we titled it that is because most sales professionals, most business leaders actually don't take advantage of their greatest asset, and that asset is their list of contacts. That's right, your list of prospects, your list of clients, and your list of evangelists. That's where 80% of your new business should come from, and you're not taking advantage of that right now. We're going to help you take advantage of that today on the 60-Second Sales Show. Those of you who are just joining us or joining us for the first time, we started a couple of weeks ago broadcasting the recording of the 60-Second Sales Show live on Facebook. We do that every Wednesday. You can go to Facebook at The Dave Lorenzo, The Dave Lorenzo, the word, TheDaveLorenzo, all run together, and watch us record the show, watch behind the scenes, jump into the sausage factory and watch the sausage being made. Or if you prefer, you can listen to the podcast as it's recorded, all edited and pretty, on Mondays. The podcast, new episodes come out Monday at noon. The Facebook Live show is done every Wednesday at 9:30 or as close as we can get. I want to introduce you to our wonderful and talented producer, the person who makes everything happen behind the scenes. Her name is Nancy Pop. Good morning, Nancy. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Nancy. I'm excited about quite a few things this week. But you know what? I want to hear what you're excited about. So tell me something good, Nancy.
I'm just excited for being in New York right now. It's a great time, It's the weather's really nice and the changes, the fall. I'm excited for the fall.
Fall is probably the best time of year in New York. The weather's getting a little bit cooler. The city kicks into high gear with baseball playoffs, which are coming up. I know, Nancy, you're super excited about that. You've also got football season. You also got football season that just started. I mean, what could be better than spending fall in New York? I'm with you. I would be super excited about that if I was there too. You know, a couple things I'm excited about this week. First, I have to tell you, my son, we are huge baseball fanatics, as you could tell from one of the things that I said I would be excited about from being in New York. And my son is starting to get some big hits in baseball games. He drove in the tying and go-ahead run in his game last week. He's 7 years old, and his hitting is really coming on strong. So I'm super excited about that. I'm also really excited. Those of you who join me on Instagram, at The Dave Lorenzo on Instagram, really everything you need to know about me for social media, just type in the word "the" and then my name, Dave Lorenzo, and you'll find me. But if you're with me on Instagram, you've noticed that I'm doing push-ups every day, and some of you may be familiar with this. This is it's the hashtag is 22, the number kill, K-I-L-L, and it's the push-up challenge. And I was challenged by my friend Doug Comet a couple weeks ago, to do 22 push-ups a day. And the reason we're doing them is to support our troops and to honor the brave men and women who return from serving our country, and they have post-traumatic stress disorder. You see, on average, 22 people each day, 22 returning veterans commit suicide due to post-traumatic stress disorder. So this viral activity, doing 22 push-ups a day to honor our troops, has generated a huge amount of awareness. And if you go to Instagram, look at any of the videos where you see me doing push-ups, there's a website in there. There's a link to a website that's in there where you can go and donate and support the cause. And this started about a year and a half ago. And believe it or not, this has generated so much awareness. The average has actually come down over the course of the year from 22 a day, as far as I understand from people who've commented on my Instagram page, to less than 20 a day. Now, one member of our armed forces committing suicide due to post-traumatic stress disorder each day is too much. So we're going to keep working to generate awareness for the cause. Now, the reason that I'm excited is not just because I feel like I'm supporting our troops and I'm doing something good, but also, Nancy, you're never going to believe this, I'm losing my man boobs. I had probably like an A cup at the point where I started, and now I'm 2 weeks in, and my chest is actually flattening out. Now, I'm also running a little bit, which I think helps as well. But people are making less fun of me, and I feel a lot better about myself. So that's another reason for me to be super excited this week. Thank you so much. And let me tell you, when the next time you see me, when you see how fit I am, you're going to be even more proud. So today, the main reason why I'm excited to be with you all is because I'm going to give you something that you can use immediately. You can jump on this right now. It'll fill a big hole in your business, and it's going to generate more income for you as a business leader or a sales professional. This strategy that I'm going to teach you right now is something that I was completely and totally remiss. I wasn't doing this. I was about a year and a half into my own business. I had been successful other places. You guys know all those stories, and if you don't know them, go back to the previous podcast. You can hear all my stories about places I've worked. But I had been successful in other businesses, and I was missing out on something, and it was pointed out to me, and it changed my business life forever. Here's the thing. We meet people all the time at networking events, or you'll do some speaking and you'll meet people at a speaking engagement, maybe dozens or hundreds of people, or you'll write an article and people will reply telling you how great the article was, or they'll comment and tell you how fantastic they think your writing is. And you don't capitalize on that in any way except to say thank you or to shake their hand or, to accept the pat on the back and go about your business. Well, that's a missed opportunity. So too is the missed opportunity from the client that you took great care of last year, that you sold that big engagement to, that you sold that large order to, and then just moved on and forgot about. You didn't stay in touch with them. Missed opportunity. So here's how you're going to capitalize on that opportunity. And you have to go back and think to yourself, there's one thing your clients give you before they ever give you their money. And that one thing is they give you their trust. They give you their trust. That's the thing that carries through after the money is long gone. So that client that you've taken extra special care of, those folks who you dazzled in your speaking engagement, the people that you meet and you connect with at a networking event, those folks now, they know you and they trust you. Hopefully they like you as well. But you're not able to capitalize on it beyond the point where you had that initial contact or where you closed that first deal. Here's how you can capitalize on it. There's 3 opportunities for you to connect with and stay in touch with these people. Think about this for a moment. Think about the most precious, the most treasured relationship in your life. Maybe you have someone who's a significant other to you, a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Or maybe it's just a family member, a brother or a sister, or just a friend who's so important to you. Think about how frequently you're in contact with them, how frequently you interact with them. Now, I know with my spouse, I talk to my spouse, my wife, multiple times a day. Carrie and I constantly talk from the minute we get up until the minute we go to sleep. In fact, my home office, the studio that I'm in right now, is in my home. and I'll walk out of the studio after I'm done recording this episode of the 60-Second Sales Show, and Carrie will be right out there and we'll have a conversation. We talk dozens and dozens of times each day. And you, with the people who are special to you, who are important to you in your life, you probably communicate with them multiple times each day. Now, let me ask you, would your relationship with them get better if you stopped communicating with them? Let's say you talked to them today and then you didn't talk to them again for, 6 months or a year. I know my relationship with Carrie would be a disaster. If I didn't talk to her for 6 months or a year, she would stalk me, and eventually she would track me down and really be angry, and that would not be a pretty sight for me or for anybody around us. Relationships are built on a foundation of trust, and frequency of communication increases trust. I'm going to say that again because it's really, really important. Frequency of communication increases trust. So think about that client to whom you sold a huge order just a year ago. You sold the order. You probably took everybody in the office out for drinks. You got a lot of pats on the back. Maybe you even won some sort of award, or you used your commission or the money that you took home after the sale to buy something really nice for yourself. All of that's fantastic. Then what happened? You forgot about that person for a year. A whole year went by. Now it's time for you to make your quota, or you need a little extra money, and you're looking around for that extra money, and you're thinking to yourself, I got to go sell somebody brand new. How am I going to do this? You don't have to sell somebody brand new. There's somebody out there who already trusts you, who probably has a need for an additional product or an additional service, but you just forgot about them. All right, here's how you're going to stay in touch with them. First thing I want you to do is I want you to think about how you can stay in touch with these folks on an annual basis. So once a year, how can you stay in touch with these folks? Now, some companies have a holiday party each year, and they connect with their customers during the holidays. The customers come over, food and beverages, maybe a little entertainment. Everybody has a good time. There's the spirit of good cheer in the air. Fantastic, right? Well, I would encourage you, in addition to the holiday party, or instead of the holiday party, to pick your slowest time of the year and do a client appreciation event. Invite your clients over to your office. If you're an independent sales professional, or you're a sales professional in a big company, you can find a place to have a party to invite your clients, whether you have 10 or 20 or 30 or 1,000. Invite them over, have some drinks, give a little talk saying how much you appreciate them and thanking them. Don't pitch them on any business. Let them introduce themselves to one another, or better yet, you introduce them to one another so they can do business with each other, and connect with them at least once a year in person to show your appreciation. Even if they haven't done business with you in years, invite them to that annual event. Now, the second opportunity you have to connect with these folks is on a monthly basis. And there are a couple of things you can do on a monthly basis to stay connected with your clients, with your evangelists, with people who are out there promoting your services, and with folks who are just really, really engaged, dedicated people to you and your company, people who are your highest level prospects. Each month, you have an opportunity to wish someone well for a specific holiday. I encourage you to send out a holiday card each month. Now, so you don't think this is an idea that's brand new to me, I'm going to tell you that I stole it from a guy named Joe Girard. Joe Girard is known as, in the Guinness Book of Records, the greatest salesman of all time. He was a car salesman, and he pioneered this strategy. So here's what Joe did. Each month, he would send out a card to his past clients. The card would have some sort of a picture on it, and it would just have a handwritten note from him inside that said, I like you, Joe Girard. And it would be personalized at the top. Now, you don't have to do that. What you can do is you can wish them well for a holiday each month, and I'll give you an example. Obviously, you know the holidays like Thanksgiving. Send out a Thanksgiving card in November and a holiday card in December. Well, in January, there's New Year's, so you can wish people a Happy New Year. Send it out the second week of January when people are all done receiving their cards. In February, my favorite holiday is Groundhog Day. You can send out a card with a cute little groundhog poking his head out of the hole, and it can say inside, the inscription could say something like, I hope you don't see your shadow. Here's to an early spring. Hopefully your business is springing up with more profit for you. Give me a call if I can ever be of help. Sign your name, and you're done. That's February. March, there's the Luck of the Irish. St. Paddy's Day is in March. So you can send out a card with a 4-leaf clover on it and say, you don't need the Luck of the Irish to help you with your business. I'm here to do that, and put your name on it. You get the idea. In April showers or spring rebirth renewal. May is Memorial Day, so you can honor our troops with a card and send it out to your clients, to your evangelists, and to your prospects. In June, there's Flag Day, or the beginning of summer. Grass is on the field, let's play baseball, that type of thing. July, declare your independence. August is the dog days of summer. Don't let the dog days of summer get you down. September, back to school. Everybody loves back to school. October, obviously Halloween, and then November we started this whole thing off with Thanksgiving. Every month there's your opportunity to stay in front of your clients with a holiday card. And I'll tell you, this strategy works regardless of whether you're in business-to-business sales or business-to-consumer sales. Everybody appreciates the recognition. Okay, now, if you want to stay in touch with people on a frequent basis and generate tons of business, here's the strategy that knocks the ball out of the park. This is the home run right now. Weekly emails. Write about a topic that's in the news. Write about a book that you read or a movie that you've seen. Write about events that are going on in the community. Do some educational pieces from time to time. Vary your topics each week and send out a weekly email newsletter to everyone on your list. Not everyone will read it. Only 20% of the folks will read it. But those 20% are the most important to you because they're the most engaged people on your list. They're the people you want to connect with the most. They're the people who are the most valuable to you. They are most likely to refer business to you. They are most likely to do business with you again. You stay top of mind with them, and you will reap the benefits. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dave, that's a lot of work. An email newsletter once a week. Well, it only has to be about 300 or 400 or maybe 500 words, and you can dictate it into a transcription software and have it transcribed and send that out if you want. It couldn't be any easier. You can speak 500 words in 10 minutes. It's so easy. Just talk about what's on the top of your mind, write about something that's going on in the community, do a book review, a movie review, and occasionally educate your clients, and just remind them that they have someone in their family who does what you do, and this will result in a ton of business for you. My clients who do this, who do the weekly newsletter strategy, the weekly email newsletter strategy, on average get 80% of their business off their weekly email newsletter list. That's phenomenal. 80% of their business. So imagine right now you're not doing this and you can up your business by 80%. Who wouldn't sign up for that? My friends, you are crazy if you don't do this. I'm going to recap these strategies for you again because they're so important. They're so powerful. Number one, the annual event, right? We call it a client appreciation event. Do it during your slowest time of year. You can invite people into your office, bring in some food, some drinks, some entertainment, or you can do it in a restaurant. Be as big or as reserved as you want, but recognize people once a year. Second strategy, monthly. Send them a monthly card. Phenomenal, huge impact. Monthly cards, you can automate that whole process. You can go to any print shop and they will automate the process for you. They'll do the printing and mailing. You can go online to a service like Send Out Cards. Send Out Cards will automate it for you. Just Google automated card delivery services and you'll be amazed at the people who are out there who will take this over for you, and you can put it on autopilot. And then finally, your weekly email newsletter. You can use a service like MailChimp, Constant Contact, iContact, GetResponse, any of these services. Put the newsletters in, format them, send them out one day a week, same day, same time. The business will come rolling in. You have a hole right now in your business. This strategy will help you plug that hole. It's powerful. It's phenomenal. Do it and reap the benefits today. This is probably the one strategy I tell everyone. If you can only implement one strategy in your business, this would be it. My email newsletter list for me is gold. It's absolute gold. I never miss a week. Every Wednesday at noon, my email newsletter goes out, and every Wednesday afternoon, the money comes rolling in. All right, speaking of money rolling in, we talk about a business topic each and every single week so that I can help you make even more money rolling in. And today, I think Nancy has a question that she was able to source for us. So Nancy, tell me about the question that you have for us this week.
All right, so my good friend Nate, he just graduated from NYU Business School, and he wanted to know, he said, business is oftentimes a male-dominated industry. As society continues to change, what is the best way for both women and men to open up the field and achieve gender equality? Can we achieve gender equality in business?
All right, well, thanks, Nancy, and thank you, Nate, for that question. Congratulations on graduating from NYU. It's a great question. You know, one of the things that is hot in the news right now, because we're in the middle of the election season, is gender equality. We have a candidate running for president on the Democratic side. She's the first woman candidate ever, in Hillary Clinton. And on the Republican side, we have Donald Trump. And the gender question is one that is thrust to the forefront because of this. Here's something that's interesting about what we're seeing in the political climate now. What we're seeing in the political climate now is people are talking about the person who's best qualified to be president. And they're talking about that because of the credentials, I think, of Hillary Clinton, and also because of Donald Trump's credentials. Donald Trump comes from the business world. He's got no experience in politics or foreign affairs. Hillary Clinton has spent her entire career in politics and spent the last 6 years prior to running for president, after taking a year off, spent 6 years prior to that as Secretary of State working on foreign affairs. So there's a question as to who's better qualified, and there are great arguments being made on both sides. I see this as something that's analogous to business right now. I think in this day and age, there's still some bias toward men, and we see that in pay. Anytime you do a pay survey, you see that women are, for whatever reason, compensated at a lower level than men. However, things are changing, things are improving. I think part of this is because women historically have been raised to be less promotional. They don't promote themselves as well as men do. And there are a lot of women out there who feel like it's not their place to talk about their skills or to brag about their accomplishments. I think that's just wrong. I think women need to promote their skills as well as men, and they need to brag about their accomplishments as well as men. And I think we need to embrace the fact that if you don't talk about your accomplishments, nobody will ever know about them. Now, society will have to catch up. Society will have to adjust. And men who brag are known as promotional, and women who brag are known as pushy, right? Well, I don't think you need to worry about that any longer. I think if you're going to be labeled as pushy as a woman, you're going to be labeled as pushy regardless of whether you brag or not. So you need to brag. You need to talk about your accomplishments. And you need to force the issue of pay. Now, for the business world's part, businesses need to do a better job of recognizing that talent comes in all different shapes, sizes, colors, and genders. And the business world needs to be more sensitive to the fact that women can be just as good, if not better, executives, chief executives, as men. You see it now all over the place. You see women executives who are super successful. Sheryl Sandberg at Facebook is one of them. There are women everywhere right now who are forcing this issue to the forefront, but they shouldn't have to. They really shouldn't have to. So in terms of Nate's question, will we ever achieve gender equality? I think as women are thrust into the forefront in more prominent roles, I think you're going to start to see more and more women embracing these roles, and some of the stereotypes that women are subjected to will begin to break down. Certainly the gender barrier being shattered with a major party having a woman nominee for the first time. I think that's fantastic. And I think as we get into presidential debates, you're going to start to see people evaluate these two candidates based on their own qualifications, and gender is not going to be an issue at all. And if it is an issue, it'll be an issue for a minority of people rather than for a majority of people. So, Nate, very directly, I think it's a long road, but I think we're making some progress. I think the responsibility is on the business world to recognize that talent comes in all different shapes, sizes, colors, and genders. And it's also incumbent upon each of the candidates who are candidates for not only political office, but candidates for promotion in business to be more assertive and to promote themselves without shame, unabashedly promote themselves so that they can be recognized for their true talent. Don't play into the stereotype. Whether you're a man or a woman, you have to promote yourself, because if you don't, no one will know how really good you are. Nate, thank you for the question. Nancy, thank you for sharing the question with us. This is the 60-Second Sales Show, and my name is Dave Lorenzo. You can find us each week on iTunes. You can find us at davelorenzo.com, and for the second time, you can now find us on Facebook Live. We do the show live each Wednesday at 9:30, or as close as we can get, and the show is broadcast. It's released on iTunes every Monday at noon. Go back and listen to the past episodes, and I welcome you here each and every single week. Until next week, I'm Dave Lorenzo, and I'm saying I hope you make a great living and live a great life.
Awesome. That was great.
Super. Thank you. And thank Nate for that fantastic question. Thanks to everybody who's out there on Facebook Live. And thank you, as always, Nancy Pop.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you right back here again next week. Take care.